Huge debate in the world, security versus compliance. Am I secure if I'm compliant? That's a great question. And then you can ask the question the other way. Can I be secure without being compliant? Well, let's talk about these two things. So security is, of course, the mechanism of being secure, securing your data, securing your environment, securing your people. Ultimately, it's about keeping everything safe, right? Compliance is a standard or a framework to which a company would align to. So theoretically, they're working to accomplish the same goal, right? That's what's funny. Is it security? Is it compliance? Yes, it's both, right? So, can I be secure without being compliant? Absolutely. Because security is looking at your risk, is doing an analysis of your environment, is understanding your data, understanding how things are fit together, and then what are my risks, especially as it pertains to cybersecurity. What data loss, all those things. What are my risks as an organization? And then based on those risks, what do I need to do to bring that risk down? That's really what it is. Cybersecurity is ultimately risk management. That's what it is. It's just a technical focus risk management with a specific focus around keeping everything safe, right? Not losing data, not losing things, not being breached, not having your company shut down, and all the things that we read about in the news, right? So can I be secure without being compliant? Absolutely. Because if you go through the process of understanding your risk and you take the time to put those together into a plan, remediate those, put those controls into place, make sure those controls are operating and working, and bring your risk down, and monitor your risk posture. Yeah, compliance has nothing to do with that, right? Of course. So you're just being secure. So yes, you can be secure without compliance. Now, once you go through the exercise of truly being secure and having a holistic program that covers the breadth of your company, then you're likely compliant. So find a framework, SOC 2 for example, or HITRUST. HITRUST is pretty exhaustive and nitpicky, but you can pick a framework, right? ISO 27001. Go out there and become compliant, because chances are you're probably 90% of the way there. If you do your cybersecurity program like you're supposed to, and you really take a risk-based approach, and you don't just knee-jerk certain things that you read about that you need to do, but you actually are looking holistically at your cybersecurity posture and how resilient are you in the case of a problem, then you probably got compliance covered. So go take advantage of that, because compliance is the trust but verify part, right? Like, you can tell your clients and your customers and your board and your CEO all day long, oh, absolutely, we're doing everything perfect. We are secure. Yeah, yes. You can tell them that, but until you have some sort of stamp or some sort of objective measure, how do you know? You think you're compliant based on your own opinion. Okay, so you think you're secure, sorry, based on your own opinion. Well, that's what compliance brings to the picture, right? Is because now you can bring an objective third-party framework, bring it in, look at it, and go, oh, do we have all these covered? Oh, we have 95% of them covered. Great. Okay, we'll cross some T's and dot some I's and get the last little bit of it done, so you get credit for all the work you've done, right? So that's being secure, but without compliance. But once you do this right, you should go for this because you're probably most of the way there. So get your credit. Now let's flip it. Let's say, if I'm compliant, does that make me secure? Very interesting questions. A debate all the time between compliance and security people. Just because you're compliant doesn't mean you're secure. Well, that's a true statement. However, the textbook version of compliance is to create security. So I would argue that if you're compliant, that should, textbook theoretically, lead you to being secure. You take the NIST CSF framework, for example. The whole point of it is to help a company be secure, or help the DoD, but many companies leverage it, but to be secure, right? So if you adopt a framework, for example, ISO 27001, same thing. The idea is that it brings an information security management program into your company where risk is considered and appropriate measures are put into place based on your risk. So textbook compliance should help you be secure. Now, let's go back to planet Earth. Unfortunately, here's what happens. Companies look to these compliance frameworks as a list of checkboxes to check as fast as they humanly can and to go through and do things as quick and easy as possible. And sadly, they miss the whole point of security. So that's where it comes from, right? That's where the big debate comes from. Is you take security people who have seen company after company after company be compliant and even get their stamp that you are compliant, but they're not secure because they've just taken the shortest path and they've turned it into a checkbox exercise, which was never the intent of the compliance mechanism to begin with. The compliance mechanism intent was always to serve as an objective, holistic measure to take into your company to really work to build out your program. And sadly, just human nature, people just want to get things done as fast as they possibly can. And I get it, everybody's busy, they're overworked. I mean, I totally get it. But the point is, compliance is to help be an objective measure to build out an entire security program. It is never a replacement for the overall program. Is never a replacement for that. It is input into that. Security is security. Risk management is risk management. If you want to mitigate the risk in your company, if you want to keep your company secure, then you go through the practices to do just that. And you build a program and you understand your risks and you understand the breadth of your organization and which controls make sense and which controls are missing and which are too much or which are too little. And that's the way you take that. Compliance is intended to help people and plug into that process and make sure that key areas aren't forgotten because somebody's trying to do it from their brain and, oh, whoops, I totally didn't think about that. And the framework would help to plug that in. So that's how those two come together. They're not meant to be at odds of each other. They're not meant to compete with each other. Security and compliance are meant to work, and risk management are meant to work hand in hand to achieve the objective of keeping the company safe, keeping the data safe, keeping people safe, people's identity safe, all of those. Sadly, human nature kicks in and we just want to check the compliance boxes as fast as we can to get to the end result and say, yeah, I'm there, I'm secure. Maybe, maybe not. And so that's where those things, that's where they kind of fall at odds with each other. If you like this video, I would greatly appreciate it if you hit the like button, share it with others who you think might find value in it. Thank you for taking the time to watch.